I'm Gabby. This is John, our research director. It's been over a month since the government shut down, and we're going to talk about it.
Day 36 of the government shutdown, now the longest in U.S. history.
Why is the government still shut down? What's going on?
Well, the truth is that progressives in Congress are trying to prevent folks from having their healthcare costs explode in the next year. Americans consistently have said that healthcare costs are one of the primary concerns and one of the main things that help them make choices as far as what they can and cannot afford in their lives. And conservatives are, just leaving them hanging out to dry. And progressives in the Senate specifically are standing strong for, those folks who aren't rich and, need a little help to be able to cover themselves and their families.
This is wrong. It's unfair. It obviously will impose devastating cuts. And what I really hope is that it wakes people up to what's going on in our nation right now. That when Donald Trump was inaugurated and had those billionaires sitting right behind him, that he was sending a signal to everybody in the United States that is who he was going to rule in favor of. This bill that he passed this summer shows it. And the moment we're in right now, when Americans and Minnesotans are facing devastating cuts to their health care, shows it even clearer.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people in my life are really concerned right now about skyrocketing premiums and aren't making the connection between how progressives are trying to fight against that.
Yeah, well, it's everything too. Folks on Medicare, retired folks, your parents, your grandparents, their premiums are going up just because, healthcare is getting more expensive due to a wide variety of reasons, and most of them don't have anything to do with the quality of care that they're receiving.
I feel like online I've seen so much discussion about SNAP. Could you explain what that is, and are people getting their SNAP benefits right now?
Beginning tomorrow, nearly 500,000 Minnesotans, including 152,000 children, will lose the SNAP nutrition assistance that is so vital to keeping food on kitchen tables across our state.
So SNAP is the food assistance program that folks can apply to here in Minnesota if they need a little bit of help affording their groceries or feeding their families. And 400,000 Minnesotans, like you said, benefit from it every month. And, the president has decided that he's not going to distribute those benefits despite there being money allotted to it in earlier congressional bills. And there's been lawsuits, as there has been with everything that this administration has done. And the president has ignored the lawsuits, as he's done with most everything in this administration, unless it benefits him. And so right now, depending on what side of the president's mouth you believe, either half of the SNAP benefits are going to be distributed or none of the SNAP benefits are going to be distributed, which leaves almost 500,000 Minnesotans kind of hanging in the lurch.
That is so many people who are trying to plan their food budget for the week or the month, trying to figure out how to feed their kids, how to budget for Thanksgiving, who are just being left in the dark right now.
Well, and these aren't just regular 20 to 50-year-old Minnesotans. There's a substantial number of children and seniors that receive SNAP benefits, people on fixed income that just need a little bit of extra help. We all know that food costs have been skyrocketing over the past 9 months. Inflation's at 3 or 4%. Nothing's getting cheaper. The tariffs aren't helping, and the Trump administration has just kind of turned a blind eye to all these folks who are in need.
That is so true. My Halloween candy was so expensive this year. How are people even able to celebrate the upcoming holidays with these skyrocketing costs?
Well, like you mentioned with Halloween, we don't grow cocoa nibs here in the United States, so, we have to import that, tariff. The wrappers are, a lot of them made out of aluminum, also a tariff. Luckily, we do grow a lot of turkeys in Minnesota, but the costs of, the feed and all of the other things that are required to go into the things that you need for a Thanksgiving meal, like everything's just more expensive these days. Eggs, milk, butter, all the staples. Nothing's getting cheaper.
So we get a lot of social media comments whenever we post Governor Walz about how, that's my governor, that's our dad. Like, so proud to live in Minnesota right now. What has he been doing to help protect Minnesotans, keep them fed, especially during this crisis of Trump's government shutdown?
Well, one of the things that the governor has been doing is he gave some of the local food banks in the state kind of an influx of $4 million, which sounds like a lot of money, but for a food bank, it doesn't go as far as direct benefits to folks who need them. Like, for every one meal that a food bank, serves to someone in need, 9 more are actually handled through SNAP benefits. Mm-hmm. And so it's just like a very, very, very small drip in the bucket. Like $3 million is only a couple days worth of SNAP benefits in total. So it's not nearly enough to replace what the Trump administration has withheld from those in need. But, we're trying. The governor's always been a proponent of making sure that folks can get the food that they need. Prime example of that was last legislative session. We passed the free school lunches and breakfasts, and all the conservatives, for the most part, voted against it. Shout out Speaker Damath. And it just kind of shows that the conservative philosophy about leaving those that are in need out, hanging them out to dry is not just a federal thing. That happens sadly here in Minnesota as well.
Mr. President, I have yet to meet a person in Minnesota that is hungry. Yet today, I have yet to meet a person in Minnesota that says they don't have access to enough food to eat. Now, I should say that hunger is a relative term, Mr. President. I had a cereal bar for breakfast. I guess I'm hungry now. That, to some, might be maybe that's the definition of the bill. I don't know. I didn't see a definition of hunger in the bill, Mr. President.
And I mean, it's really great to hear Walz is, throwing support to food shelves, and that he has a track record of keeping our students, fed so that they are better in their classrooms, and they have a reliable food source to keep growing.
Yeah. That breakfast at school and that lunch at school, that might be, the only 2 meals of the day that those kids get, depending on the situation at home. So, we should be really proud of all the progressives in Minnesota that work to make that happen.
John, I know you're really busy. Thank you for chatting.
My pleasure.
I appreciate you all tuning in. If you have a story where you or your family have been impacted by this shutdown, let us know. Leave a comment, follow us on socials, and this is a constantly evolving piece of news, so we'll keep you updated.